Hi, this is the koiitree podcast. I sometimes just like to talk. And I was like, you know what? Let's make a podcast, and it's just gonna be on this channel because I see no reason why to make a separate channel that's not gonna get views. Whereas this will also not get views, but at least it helps me. I like to see how many videos I post. I think that's really cool seeing that go up. I'm at like 300 something, which is really, really awesome. So hi, again, it's just me talking about whatever I want. Mainly, most of the time, it says all things video games right here, but pretty much it's gonna be video games and whatever else we want. This podcast episode, I wanted to talk about like the state of Nintendo from an outsider's point of view. Now, I still use Twitter, aka X, which is so dumb. Don't even get me started. But yeah, I still use Twitter. I'm super active on YouTube. I'm on Reddit, but I'm not on like video game Reddits. At least that doesn't pop up. Twitter is really where I get a lot of my video game news aside from YouTube. And there has been a lot of talk, at least on Twitter. There's probably been YouTube. There's been a lot of talk about the next iteration of Nintendo home, just consoles in general, not necessarily home consoles because we don't know what it is. So again, this is an outsider's point of view. My first thought and opinion on if we got something new, I think 2024 is too early. I think if we get something new, I still think it should be a Nintendo Switch. I just think, well, first of all, back to the 2024, I think it should come out 2025, maybe summery time, April, May, June. I think that's when it should come out if we have a new system. 2024 is like still too early. There are so many things that they could do with the Switch. And I know it's like, we need the next system. We've had the Switch since 2017. It is fantastic. I think the Switch is absolutely revolutionary. And it's like, why would you not want a handheld console, home system console? Like, continue to get that. Like, that's amazing. I guess for me, it's like there are so many things that I still want for the Switch. My biggest thing is older games. I know a lot of people are like, just play it on the other systems or just pirate it. No, I don't necessarily really pirate games. I'm not against it. I just don't do it myself. But it's like, I have money and I would like to pay. Like Pokemon, I want to play the old Game Boy games I used to play as a kid, and I'm not going to pirate it. I want the feeling of holding it in my hand and playing it, and like I want that. It's like, give me all those Pokemon games. I will pay for it. And stop putting stuff on your online Nintendo Switch Online, because it's like, first of all, it's too slow. Second of all, like, I want to own the games. Instead of paying $40 a year for your online, why don't you just let me buy an old Pokemon game, $10, $20, $30, $40? Like, I will pay that. I feel like you make more money that way, but who knows? Yeah. I'm just trying to think. Yeah, so the new system, if there is one, 2025. But what I think it should be, I still think for the foreseeable future, the Nintendo should just have Switches, but you just keep making the Switches better and better, right? They started with a normal Switch, and then they went to a Switch Lite, which to me, it's slightly going backwards, but for a good reason. It's for like the kids, right? I think they need to go forward. I think they need to make a Switch. I think multiple Switches. I think a console only Switch would be amazing. I use my Switch console mode 98% of the time. I barely use it handheld. A lot of us barely use it handheld. I have not bought a Nintendo Switch OLED because it's like, I almost actually bought the Zelda one, but it's like I don't use it handheld. So to me, it's a wasted upgrade. But it's like I just use it stuck in the console mode, you know, in the dock. If you made a Nintendo Switch system that is essentially dock only, like you literally cannot take it out, but you beefed up the graphics, that would sell so well. I could see not only Nintendo gamers, but also other console gamers like Xbox and PlayStation maybe pick it up because, okay, those people, no offense if you're those people, they're really big on like graphics because like, you know, I guess it's whatever. But if there was a Nintendo system that allowed you to play Red Dead Redemption with beefed up graphics on a Nintendo Switch, but that was just like dock mode only, I think that could be really cool. I think it could bring in new eyes, new people, and also I would buy one. I would 100% buy one because it's like I want to go through the Korok Forest. I want to go to the Korok Forest and I don't want it to glitch. It always glitches. Like it's beautiful, but the frame rates drop and it's like you created these games. It's like there's a reason why they're dropping. Is the system not beefed up enough for you? Did you think it was more beefed up? Are we gonna have a more beefed up one? So, you know, it's just a lot. Another thing I think they could do, and I definitely think they should do, is also beef up just the Nintendo Switch handheld itself, right? Definitely I think people would love, like, you know, you got the OLED screens. Give us just something to have better quality games. Like the OLED is probably beautiful. I've held it in my hand I think like twice at a Walmart. It's nice, right? The OLED's really nice, but like I don't necessarily care about OLED if I'm playing like Stardew Valley, if I'm playing Animal Crossing. Like to me the difference of like a 1080p screen, I don't even know if it's 1080p, isn't it like 720 for the original Switch? But like the difference is it's like, of course it's beautiful, better looking screen, but then it's like, I don't know, like what's the point of a better screen if the thing itself is still the processor? I don't know, big words. But yeah, I just think you could go two separate ways. Keep the Switch as it is, but just beef it up. Even in handheld mode, you may have to take away some aspects, like maybe a little bit smaller battery size, maybe a thicker handheld, honestly. Just something like that I think would be really cool. And then also, yeah, so that keep what you have, and then the secondary route is a stationary, non-mobile, non-handheld system, which is still the Nintendo Switch, except it does not switch, right? It's just the home console, which I think would be fine because it's like, let's be real, what else is there for Nintendo to do? I literally, like, as I said, the Switch is so revolutionary. I don't want to say this is Nintendo's peak, but I literally think you cannot get better than this. And some people are like, well, you can because they're always innovative. But like, you cannot tell me a handheld and then a home console 2-in-1 is not like it. Like, there's nothing else. Like, I personally feel like you literally cannot get better, right? If you're listening, let me know down in the comments or say it out loud. Like, what is your thought and opinion? Because it's just like, you know, Nintendo's trying to make something new. Like, a genuine new, brand new home console would be absolutely amazing. I would love, because I loved the Wii U. Let's get that straight. I loved the Wii U. I still love the Wii U. It is a fantastic system. Wish it had more games, but like it was great. Of course, I would love like a new home console, you know. I guess I could see them, talking about home consoles, I could definitely see them keeping the Nintendo Switch, but phasing it into like the 3DS. Does that make sense? Because you know how we had the 3DS and then ignoring the Wii U, but we had the 3DS and then let's say we had the Switch. 3DS were still a thing, but the Switch was being pushed out more, whereas the 3DS was more, I want to say near the end of its life, it was more geared towards children. Like, does that make sense? Because I could definitely see if we got like a new console, let's say it's a home console, right? Because they already technically have a handheld. If they had a console only, they pushed it towards everybody to use it, but like, does this make sense? Anybody can use it, but like the Switches, they're okay. If you don't get it, you get it. If you get it, you get it. I don't know. I would love a new home console, but again, it's just like, I think what they have with the Switch is amazing and keep going. It would suck because it's like, what was that? It was like 2017 it came out, right? I just feel like it has so much more to it. They could create so many more games, but maybe they're not trying to create so many more new games. They're trying to wait for the new games for the new console. So in my opinion, new console, if we got it and it's not a Nintendo Switch, 100% has to be an at-home, like, stationary console only, right? You can't have any more handheld. The Switch will become the new 3DS. The new item will become the new Nintendo Switch. Like, that'll become the biggest and best. And then, because you know how at the end of the life for 3DS, it was kind of just being shoved out there. Stuff was on sale. It's like, come, just buy it, whatever, blah, 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 blah. So it's kind of what I'm getting at. Does that make sense? Yeah. So that is it for this podcast. It's a super short episode. I'm still getting the hang of it, just trying to see how podcasty stuff works anyways. I would still love to continue doing these. What's funny is I said the state of Nintendo as an outsider, but I feel like I didn't talk about any of that. I was just talking about the state of Nintendo. Maybe I'll still do as an outsider. Am I an outsider? Do you guys love me? Bye. Oh, I mean, thanks for watching. How do people end podcasts? Thanks for our sponsor, HelloFresh. Use code